distinguished guests, and members of the Women's Federation for World Peace. It is my great honor to share my vision for world peace with such an illustrious gathering of women leaders. Our participation here today is truly historic. It marks the beginning of the French chapter of the Women's Federation for World Peace. And for many of us, marks the beginning of an active new phase in our roles as women. We are now entering an age of globalization. Ours is a time where the conflicts between cultures and races and the wars of ideology and language no longer keep us from realizing the creation of one unified world. Thank you. It is not by chance that we women are holding this conference today. We are called by history. It is the providence of God. In our audience, I see the greatness of God's handiwork in Europe. Women of diverse racial, religious, and cultural backgrounds. But there is one thing that binds most of us here. We are women, united to build a better and safer world for our children and families. Thank you. We see the signs of decay and confusion all around us. We need to look no further than our own communities to find babies born addicted to drugs, children scarred by physical and sexual abuse, young dreams destroyed by unwanted pregnancy, and neighborhoods under the siege of random violence. As women, we are deeply affected by these images. Our families and our children are casualties of a culture that exalts living mainly for the self. The impact of this selfishness reaches from the individual to our families, communities, nations, and world. That is why we have launched the Women's Federation for World Peace. This year alone, I have spoken to more than 1 million women in Asia and the United States of America, urging that we join together to fight this war to save our families. As women, thank you. As women, we reject the ideologies of the past that have oppressed humanity. We are all united in our desire to banish war, oppression, and exploitation from this world, and to hasten the anticipated future of true freedom, peace, and prosperity. Thank you. During this historic age of transition, my husband, the Reverend Sun Myung Moon, and I had advocated Godism in our efforts to overcome the forces of oppression. It is my belief that our efforts have played a role in the demise of the Cold War era. Today, I would like to introduce a philosophy that advocates that we rise above racial, religious, and national barriers to heal this world. This philosophy is called Godism. How then is a world of true freedom, peace, and prosperity to be achieved? To know this, we must first start by understanding God and His purpose of creating the universe. Originally, God created an object of love in order to feel joy. To create one masterpiece, a sculptor, for example, works day and night, investing his youth and all his strength. Where does this heart of such a sculptor come from? It comes from God, who has the same desire in wanting an object of love through which God can experience joy. If we look at the physical world, we can see that everything has an inherent duality. Minerals, plants, animals, and people all exist in pairs. This is so that each being has an object with which to interact. In the mineral world, there is the action between positive ions and negative ions. In the plant world, we have the relationship between stamen and pistil. Likewise, in the animal world, we have the relationship between male and female. God created all things with a reciprocal partner so that all levels of creation would experience joy and love. At low levels, the expression of God's love takes the form of harmonious laws of physics and natural instincts. At the highest level, God's love is expressed through the dynamic loving relationship between a man and a woman. My dear friends, we all have loving husbands and loving wives, don't we? How much do we love our spouses? If someone offers you a fortune for your loving husband, would you give him up? Is there a husband who would exchange a loving wife if he offered a crown? When I asked my husband this question, he looked me in the eyes and said lovingly, "Not even for the world."